Yeah, you definitely won't. Well, what I'll do as well is I'll record this VOD too, and then I'll upload it to YouTube, so you can watch it at a later date too. So yeah, so
Yeah.
let's go over this. Obviously, it's a game where we were both on call. It was an 8-piece session, so unfortunately we did lose it. So we are just gonna cover the points where say something I said didn't kind of register, or we can discuss things in a bit more detail since we've got the recording. So yeah, so at this point, like I thought you wanted to get prio on the wave.
Oh,
That's what I thought you were doing here. So I thought you were gonna. Do you know how to do it? Like,
I walk up and make sure that
yeah, walk up,
the
grab
wave
it.
doesn't crash. Yeah.
Yeah, walk up, grab it, and then it will focus. As soon as it'll obviously come in like this with the 6, but then they go kind of like this, and then you get the 3 casters at the back here.
Yeah.
So what you do is as soon as these casters split up into this formation, you go into the bush.
Yeah.
And that's how to do it properly, because then they'll instantly target the first melee because it's the closest thing to them, because the rest of the minions are like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I thought you wanted to do. And then yeah, at this point, like, we have a ward on blue buff, and they're not on it. So we can never ever walk up through here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a good job I shouted at you, otherwise this could have
Yeah.
been really painful. Yeah, so we also kind of walked back into it there and allowed it to get the Dark Harvest pro.
Yeah.
So yeah, here like it's very rough. So now we have to just kind of sit back. Well, at least we didn't get flamed for the lane.
True.
So yeah, this was just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
There's a good flash, but yeah, we just have to reset.
Yeah,
I don't know
so
why she didn't
I
engage
was
there.
even level 2, so
Yeah. So one of the things here as well is that we walk up in general, right? So even
yeah.
like here, so this is kind of where it goes wrong. Like, there's no way we should ever walk into her. Like, we've got enough HP right now that, we're not going to instantly die because we've got heal too. So
Yeah.
you just don't walk up whatsoever. So is there any way that you're going to lose any of this wave?
I'm gonna lose one of the melee, probably. But
I,
no.
I don't think you do. You don't lose anything. So even walking up there and taking that damage from a Q is really bad. Because we're not going to lose anything. We should be sat this far back just waiting for the wave to come in and then just clear it at that point. Because even here, see, we walk up when this wave is coming in, guaranteed. So there's no reason to have a walk up there. So, I mean, these games happen, and obviously the fact that the game progressed as much as it did goes to show, like, it's fine. And this is one of the kind of common misconceptions that ADC players have, is they don't realize that they're allowed to be behind early if they make a mistake, as long as you don't really give gold over to them in terms of kills. Now, you'll always come back into the game, and, like, you'll still be strong on 2 items. You'll still be able to do a lot of damage, but especially when you've got a really good comp. Obviously, J4 Diana, amazing synergy. Leona, amazing synergy in general. And then you as like a supportive ADC. You've got a really good comp except for the Singed.
It's always singed. It doesn't fit into any count.
Yeah, I mean, Singed is very strong into certain situations at the moment. Like, say, for example, if they pick Gwen, Singed completely destroys Gwen.
Yeah.
Which is why we probably will see Singed at some point, because maybe they take it in pro play, and then people in solo queue will copy them, even though they won't realize they're taking it because of Gwen.
Unfortunately, the new hull breaker isn't the utility item.
Yeah, Hull Breaker is completely busted. Like, that item, I did a breakdown of it on Twitter, and yeah, it's just too busted. But, so yeah, so now the problem is here, because we kind of kept stepping up, now all of a sudden we're going to lose all this XP. Now, we don't actually have to walk up and get the gold. Gold isn't the resource we need, we just need XP. Shame we missed that.
Yeah.
So obviously Jin's W is very hard to land, but we do have to kind of think of it logically about where we're gonna throw it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like here. You threw it like here. Now if we have a look at this path, is there any way that that's ever gonna hit? Like, are they ever gonna be along this line?
Nope.
Now, if you would have thrown it like
Yeah.
this, you then put them in a position where they either take the shot. So it's a really good position because if the Sivir tanks it, you get the Dark Harvest. If the Karma tanks it, she gets killed by the tower. If the Karma sidesteps it, she probably still gets killed by the tower because it's fired quite a few shots now and the damage ramps up over time. So yeah, throwing it out in a way where we'll make them actually have to work for it is always better.
Just my thought process. I just did a quick estimate of where they were going. I didn't account for the fact that, of course, they're gonna turn around.
Yeah, so this is one of the things when you play Jhin, and this is one of the things that makes Jhin kind of hard because his W and his ult, you have to be able to instantly nail exactly where it needs to be based on the situation, and that's really hard, right? Because it's like,
Yeah.
you know, where if you, and this is the thing, if you play nothing but Jhin for a while, it becomes way easier. Because the more you play a champion, the easier it actually becomes to do that. Like, I think I played something like 80 games of Diana. Well, no, probably about 100 games of Diana straight. And it's just so much easier. After you've kind of built up a big amount of muscle memory.
My unlock screen isn't the best yet, but
Yeah. I mean, you were playing on lock last time, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a big improvement. I mean, it's definitely good considering it's only been a short, brief amount of time before I asked you to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, one thing in this situation as well, here you probably just want to crash this wave because they recalled after you. So as we can see here, they died for a double kill. So what that means is we can now push the wave in. Now, slow pushing it is okay if it's a bit further back and you stack it up more, or kind of you plan on harassing them under the tower. But the way that this lane has been going, you really need the wave in your favor. So you really want the wave in a position where you're safe, because you've been punished so hard. So what you actually want to do is you want to just crash this wave. Like, because they died, they won't get here to freeze it. You want to just crash it as quick as possible. Because it's a cannon, it means you'll get a nice slow push back into you, and then you can maybe freeze it, or maybe they won't let you, but it's basically kind of pushing the waves in and then letting it come back, and you just claim it every time it comes back then. So it's like, because you're behind, we want to get it in this motion as much as possible, where we push in, or just build up slow pushes, comes back, we claim the gold here, we get another slow push in, we're safe with the wave, it'll come back, this is where we get our gold, etc, etc. That way we never really need to leave this point of the lane, which means the only way we get ganked is like this. So we just have a control ward here, or what we can also do in that situation is we can put a control ward on this little entrance there, and a normal ward here, for example. Because then, unless they sweep it or put a control ward in this brush, they won't be able to get rid of that ward. And then this one stays here because we don't want to be spending too much on red wards, control wards, because we're behind. So we just want to get that one down there where it won't get cleared for the majority of the game, so that we can spend the gold that we earn on kind of damage to come back into the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But I feel like Jhin, as far as the carries go, is so slow to crash waves.
I mean, he is,
Yeah,
but
at
you
that point in the game.
you can just kind of use everything. So, like, as we get here, we just use our Q on the backline. We just need to get this backline gone, so we just Q the backline and keep autoing. Like, they died, so I'm fairly certain they wouldn't have been able to stop it crashing. Or maybe they could, but we could have actually got a bit of a trade, because I think it's only Sivir back. Yeah, so it's only her back now. So yeah, we could have actually crashed that in, because you can't keep it on her own. But yeah, Jin's wave clear sucks. But now see what happens. We end up in this position now where they just hold the wave. This is a freeze.
Yeah.
Then just freeze the wave here, and now we can have a walk up.
Yeah, is this where that? No, can you actually go back to that her dying there? I
Here?
want to see my W. If it's me that didn't hit it properly, or if she got knocked a bit back.
No, so you just didn't hit it properly. So the thing you have to remember is when they're knocked up from where their player model is on the ground, right?
Yeah.
So I know what happened with you. So her player model is now here, right? So that's her feet. That's where you should always aim.
Yeah.
But because she gets knocked up, she looks like she's here, right?
Yeah.
So that's where your confusion is, because you were aiming for a model instead of a hitbox. So it's one thing like that's very important when you are playing skill shot champs is you always want to basically just always look to hit their feet, because it's got a much higher chance that you'll hit. Or you'll bend it around minions. Because what happens sometimes is, say this is a minion, like this will be like the minion hitbox, and you know, like it'll look like somebody's behind it here, because their model will be like this, right? I don't know why it's like Blitzcrank. Like give him a little fist. But yeah, so like in these situations, what will happen is their hitbox is like this. So it comes off the bottom a bit, right? So yours would be in a circle around you like that, for example. So this area, obviously it's not accurate, but this area can still be hooked and it can still be CC'd, even though it doesn't really look like it's a part of you. So if you say throw it here like this, it'll sometimes snag even from behind a minion. And that's kind of like, you know, where you get people like screaming, oh my god, like I just got Blitzcrank pulled through a minion. It's like, it's just the way that the game is layered.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was bad though. We just shouldn't have followed this. So yeah. So this was our bad, to be honest, because J4 had left. So it's like we just go. There's no point in chasing.
Yeah.
We finally got control of the wave back, and then we just kind of throw it away. So yeah, this was obviously the concept I was talking about. Now, if say for example I've said this so many times lately actually, but say if you are ahead, so you're very strong, you no longer need to itemize into damage as much. You need to itemize into things that will keep you alive. Now this is kind of like a bit of a weird concept, because usually you think, okay, I'm really behind, right? I need resistances, so I don't keep dying. When what you should actually be thinking is, well, if I buy resistances now and they're already stronger than me and they're gonna buy even more damage, I can no longer build anything that isn't damage, because even if I die in a fight, if I can get a good amount of damage off on them, maybe the rest of my team can carry and I'll get a lot of assists, and we'll be able to get some control back over the game, right? So it's like, you can't fight, it's literally fight fire with fire. Like, that's the only way you're actually going to beat it. So yeah, like in these positions, obviously boots, Swifties are great on Jhin, especially if you manage to get a lot of pressure in the lane, but we haven't. So we just need to just get as much damage as we can, basically. Okay, so yeah, this was, we just took a really bad trade. So why do you think we shouldn't trade at all in these situations?
Because she massively outranges me.
So that's one. She's also, what else can we see about her right now?
She's got an entire minion wave.
Okay, what else?
She's ahead.
Okay, but what can you see specifically about how ahead she is?
Level. She's
Yeah.
2 levels ahead of me.
Yeah, she's 2 levels up on you right now, which means you can't ever fight her. That's like over 1,000 gold of stats alone.
Yeah, and I just got caught up against the wall and
Yeah,
didn't expect that much damage.
then she just popped you.
Yeah.
Yeah, lethality severe is basically just keep throwing Qs and hope you one-shot someone.
Yeah.
So yeah, camera control a little bit iffy here, but
Yep.
so what you can do as well is in these situations where you know, like I am running away, that's all I'm doing, you can hold space just to center the camera on you.
Yeah.
So that, you know, you're not messing about with the camera as much. Just
Yep.
if you need to just get away. Okay, so this was kind of sad that you didn't get anything on that, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I really felt like in that game the team could have helped me more than they did.
I agree,
Kill
but
participation.
I agree, but it's one of those things like everybody should be playing for themselves for solo queue. Like,
It is true.
it's if anything, they're doing the right thing. Just because if you're confident on your ability to carry out these elos, which I mean you should do, then you know you just want the gold that you need to carry. Okay, so yeah, here we can't really walk up. And we also have a power spike in base, almost, so. This is just int. And we're also low on mana, so. We did manage to kill him here though, right? This was actually played well, we did this nice. That was a really nice flash we did. Karma couldn't even kill him.
If I was more cocky, I would say I timed his E, but I didn't.
Oh, didn't you? Oh, okay. Damn, this going on YouTube, bro. Like, you could have looked like a smurf. Nah, I mean, at least you're honest. Like, like,
I just went for a general sense of when he got up to me to auto attack. That's probably when he wanted to eat.
yeah. So here as well. I mean, to be fair, that's how you do actually dodge skill shots that are so quick like that. Anyway, so I mean, that's kind of on purpose if you knew it was coming. But yeah, so the reason earlier as well we couldn't get another serrated dirk is because this is unique. So if we buy another one, we don't get lethality from it.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I think so, right? Let me just double check. I mean, if you didn't know that, then
I did not know that.
maybe I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. Yeah, no, I am right. I thought so. Yeah, see?
What? Oh.
So see, it's a unique. It's called Gouge. So we would only actually get the 30 AD off it. So we can never build multiple. So we'd only get 1050 gold, which I mean is still kind of nice, right? But yeah. So yeah, so that's why we can't stack serrated dirks. So that's why when you said, "Oh, I'll get a dirk," I was like, "Whoa, no." Yeah. So if anything is unique, it means you can only have it once.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but I never knew that serrated dirk was unique.
Yeah.
Huh.
Otherwise, you just stack like 6 of them and just
Yeah, it makes
have the
sense
time of your
now that I
life.
think about it, yeah.
Especially the items are 100% gold effective as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, at this point, we're just farming it up. We do have somewhat cheap items, which is nice for us. So we are just looking to get the Serpent's Fang, and then we can do a lot. Again, the boots, you know, we need to get to these 2 items. Otherwise, we're not going to do anything in the fights. And I mean, we do have a ton of peel, so we don't actually need to ever really get in range of them. So this was good. So now I feel like this point of the game is where we finally sort of started stabilizing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, here as well, you should have just kept going. Because if we could have got one of these kills, like, at the end of the day, if Leona dies to a Yi, then whatever, you know. We're not going to kill that Yi, we may as well get the Karma, get the Dark Harvest stack, which is somewhat more important actually. And then we just leave the Yi to do whatever he wants.
He must have TP'd.
I mean maybe.
I think it's TP movement speed he came with.
Yeah, I think it is actually, because he didn't Q. So yeah, I think you are right. But this was
so
such a good
lucky.
heal though. Like,
So lucky though.
I mean, that was actually so well timed though. Honestly, this was really good. God, you'll be up in masters in no time with heals like that.
I hope so.
And yeah, just get rid of the ward. Like doesn't really mean that much. I mean, the good thing is you don't tilt, which is huge because this game. Like, if you would have tilted early on this, like, it would have been done.
Exactly.
When it's easily winnable, your comp is so good. It's like it's very rare you get comps in solo queue that's like, okay, this is actually a really good comp.
Yeah. But yeah, and I almost never tilted. It's rare a few times.
What if it's a good comp or see it?
No, just in general, I almost never tilt.
Oh yeah.
I can't. I get burnout after 3 or 4 games in a row. I'm
Oh.
not an all-nighter.
Yeah,
I'm just not an all-nighter.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Like, I think I played some in like 200 games in like 2 weeks maybe.
Jesus.
Yeah, but it's because of stuff with Corsair. Like I had to go exclusive with them, so I had less coaching. So
No.
I was like, okay, well, I'll play a bit more. I'll get my YouTube sorted. I'll get loads of things in place so that when I do coach again, like,
Yeah.
everything is good. So this was fine, although we did kind of walk up a little bit too far there. So we do want to kind of wiggle in and out, even in these kind of team fight situations. So right now, see, you've got your auto. Like, you're not going to be able to auto straight away. Walk back a little bit, and then walk back into auto, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you do it here, but then you don't do it here. See?
No.
You auto, and then you walk in. So it's like you're using your damage, and then you're walking into an area that you can't damage yet, and then you're getting caught, So yeah, use your auto back out, and then go back in for your auto. It's why things like Caitlyn are so good, because she's got such long range, and Jin's range is pretty hefty as well. So
Yeah.
just because now we get a little bit more beat up than we would have liked. The Prowler's Claw is just OP though.
It's just disrespect.
Yeah, I love a Prowler's Claw.
Yeah.
I don't like that they kind of dumbed it down, but I do still like it.
It's stupid that they dumbed it down, but
Yeah.
it still serves its purpose.
Yeah, it's still really good.
Champions that uses active. I mean,
Yeah.
the carries like Varus, except if you're reckless, you don't use the active.
Oh yeah, maybe. But so yeah, so I mean at this point as well, we're really strong. We've got 2-item spike, and it's Serpent's Fang gives the most lethality out of any actual lethality item. So it basically gives a mythic amount of lethality from a legendary, which is obviously insane. So this was a fight before dragon. So here, just your camera a little bit. Just make sure it's just a bit more focused in. Or on the fight,
Yeah.
Shame we didn't miss that last shot, but
Yeah, she got way faster than I expected.
yeah. We did heal though, which was nice. And she flashed. So this is good. So now we get this. So now, I mean, honestly, like, I think this was actually a really good game. Just to kind of go through how to kind of come back when you really do lose lane hard. So
Yeah.
I think this was really, really good. This was a...
And I kind of needed that because I do suffer from when I go on lost streaks. It's typically because I lose early game and then never recover from that.
Yeah, and this is the thing. So even though the things that we did and proposed, like, like even though we didn't do some of them, like that we covered, we still did what we could in order to just come back into the game. And now we're at a point where we're really strong, and it's honestly like somewhat to do with the fact that we didn't start kind of building defensives or boots and stuff early, and now we're at a point where we're just really strong. So here, actually, I didn't mean go to their camps. I meant go to yours.
Oh, yeah.
Purely because the set is actually up, and we don't know where he is. So it was very risky that he might just run in here and beat you up. We did also miss his blue ward, which is a bit of a whoops.
Yeah. That was the camera, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did get it though, which was okay, but it was very risky.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's high variance, but it worked. But the thing is, if you are gonna go for it, like you may as well just instantly go for the red after.
Yeah.
Like because if
I died of red,
if they don't show up to you straight away here, then they're not here yet. So what we do is we just walk straight up, and then we just instantly get it.
Yeah.
Because this time that we spend recalling is the time that we end up losing. Now, what you also want to do here is W over. Actually, no, W over is bad here. My bad. So what you want to do is you want to grab it. You want to pull it up into the brush. And then what you actually want to do now is you want to go and stand here. And then W it and Q it. And then if they show
That's
here... Yeah, and then if they show here, you get information that they're running up because of this. Even if they pop out here, we get information or here, and then we're fine, we can just run away. If we need to flash the wall, like, that's not going to be great for us, but we can. Or, you know, we can then just run up this way, run down this way to Leona, etc., etc. Yeah, unfortunately, your reload and the fact that we took a little bit too long to do it kind of got you killed here. But we did get collector. And, you know, even though we did die then and give away a bit of pressure, like, didn't really matter. The team did clean up, so... They kind of bailed us out, but that's fine. This was really grief, though.
Yeah.
Like, recalling in the middle when...
Yeah, and I wasn't paying attention to myself.
Because they know we've just done Baron, so...
Yeah.
So even if we would have just flashed instantly, though, as soon as we realized our mistake.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of one of the, you know, the twist of the knife, to be honest. But I mean, we pulled the game from seemed like unwinnable to a definite winnable state, but we just kind of entered it a little bit.
Yeah, and yeah, Yi happened.
Yeah, Yi kind of just...
He got the perfect situation when none of us were together.
Yeah.
He just picked us off one by one.
So this was good that you waited on the fourth shot, though.
Yeah, but I waited just a second too long.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just a little bit, but it's okay. Okay. And yeah, then Yi kind of just did Yi things, but even though we lost, I think it was still good because, you know, we almost brought that back and we were 9-6 and 12, which considering there was a brief moment there where we were 1-3 and 1. You know, like this was good. So, yeah, I think try and kind of implement this in more of the kind of games that are slightly more lost. But is there any kind of questions or anything you have about anything we covered or just anything in general just before we finish up, or?
No, actually not, because this did prove, not prove, but show me what to do when I'm playing from behind.
When you're behind, yeah. And I mean, it's much easier to learn how to play from ahead than to learn how to play from behind. Because if you're playing from ahead, a lot of the game just makes sense, and it's very easy to know where you need to be and what you need to do. But when you're playing from behind, it's kind of like you're tiptoeing about, and you're just trying to find a way back in, like a door to get back into the game, which if you can find that door, it's great, because you will get times where you have supports that will just run it down and they'll be so bad. So this is then the type of playstyle that you'd use, just as defensive as possible, just playing for mid to late. And then that's how you kind of survive when you've got really bad supports. That's why champions like Ezreal, people can kind of smurf through low elo with a huge win rate, because Ezreal, if you're good enough on him, is just kind of the perfect kind of solo queue ADC, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he's got a ton of damage, he's got a ton of range, like, he can just abuse a ton of items, he can't get CC'd, like, he's got a flash every however many seconds. So,
yeah.
So I think just focus on kind of working on these things, see how it goes. And again, if you've got any questions or anything, just give me a message. I'll stop the recording here, upload it to YouTube, and I'll send you a link when it's done.
Yeah, Thank you.
Right, no worries, my dude. Catch you in a bit. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.
Yep.
Anyway,
Bye.
man. Bye, bye, bye.